Many times in the past, I always wondered or hear that we all come from Mongolia or from Asia. Though I would say, no, we don't come from over there. All the schools that we are. And when I took a trip with my students or NS students to Mongolia, I decided to maybe we are from somewhere. When I talked to quite a few people in Mongolia, kidding or not, as the other Inuit or the Eskimos come from here, from Mongolia, they all like to think so. And they know and I don't. So it was a very interesting trip because I want to join this trip because they are going to visit reindeer people. Something I'm familiar with, like Tukta, like Ahiarmiut Elder people. So I took along the trip. I was not sure what to expect until we reached our destination up in the high mountains, close to the Russian border. When we arrived, I thought I will see tents, small cabins, and so on. They were all teepees, like Ahiarmiut, like First Nation teepee, exactly the same, just like Ahiarmiut. And I was laying in one of them. I closed my eyes. Oh, this is like another lake. I could almost hear my mom and dad. Here I am, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles away, other side of the world, and who were just like Ahiarmiut. And we tried some reindeer. And to top it off, towards the end of the trip, we were told that we will be witnessing or seeing a shaman. That I got excited. Want to know what he will do, because I know a Ahiarmiut kind of shaman. That the tents were the same, reindeer people, teepee, dealing with caribou, although they ride on them, but we don't. I think that's the first time I touched a reindeer without killing it, or without killing it first. It was funny that way, and also seeing people riding on it like a horse. And I think we were all amazed to see them like that. But they are so tame. They don't run away from hunters like us. And to top it off, one of the nights at the end, we were invited to shaman, to his house, to witness a ritual. And of course, these young Inuit have no idea what might see or other teachers, but I have an idea because I know one before. And almost the same. The startup was like they dress more with gadgets and stuff, and they go into a heavy trance, like the facial expression, they're like changed right away to something forceful. Of course, we don't understand what they're saying, but I'm sure it's related to his ritual. And he has a helper. He was in so heavy trance, sometimes he almost fell forward or backwards kind of thing, and the helper catch him and so on. And he made a little walkabout with his helper behind. So it was very dark. And he was just close to me. And I don't dare look up. I just stay in one position. And it's so strange to experience that over there, which happened to Ahiarmiut back in Anada Lake. So something I will never forget. Something I witnessed has a similar ritual, similar culture. I thought it was just us who have shamans and do rituals like that. And the important part of the evening, we all want to go in. And I think there were two kids who were interested in going, but also have reservations. They told me that although they're really interested in going in, they also said, if my grandpa see me doing this, he would not be happy. For that, I'm staying outside. That was so unique, so respectful. So I will never forget that. If my grandpa was here alive today, he would not be happy. So that was so strong. During my early years, sometimes we are allowed to drum dance with regular people, like men especially, sometimes women too. When it was that time to participate, many children would go outside to avoid drumming. And it was also the time most of the children were good listeners. Even a naughty boy like me, if I want to rush out, avoid drum dancing, I just hear one word and I obey. Son, don't go out. Though I want to go out, I stay in. It was time for me to practice drum dancing and few others. That was our introductory to drum dancing. And also, before we moved to the coast, my generation were really urged heavily by the parents to compose a song, and come up with dogma, helping spirit. And I remembered trying to come up with the song. I have to, and I did, sing with other group, other boys and girls, and also come up with dogma. So I come up with one too. Then my parents stopped bothering me. So that was part of our upbringing, have to come up with the dogma Mine was Inuit, and the song I still know of it today. My late brother always used to tease me because my song don't have an ending. He said, play your never-ending song again. So I know it for a long time. And also, when it was time for us to participate in the real drum dancing, we usually danced to our father's song or behit, or to your namesake. When it was time for us children to participate, after we present ourselves to the center to drum dance, we either can dance to our father's or mother's behit or your namesake. My name is Hikwa. I'm named after Hikwa Ahiarmiut. Often I use his song, sometimes my father's song also. And that's how we started. And like my generation, and also my brother's generation, who was older than me, didn't capture the art of song making with all this move. After we moved and settled in Wheel Cove, there was no time to practice that. Even my older brother didn't practice composing, although we did children kind of song making in Anadali. So my generation and his generation, it's easy to learn someone's song, but we don't know how to compose traditional way. There's unwritten rules applied to it for both men and women, and we don't want to be the one who's changing all these rules and stuff. So that is it. And when the songs I dance to are mainly family songs, and I was one of the lucky ones. In 2007, Mary Ahiarmiut was in Ottawa doing something on art history, Anthropologica art history, I think. And she phoned me and said, Serkoak, I be here in the. She said, I can record your father's song. Right away, I happened to have a very cheap recorder. That same evening, she came to my apartment, said, I can sing for. And she said, I will sing your father's song first, Mickey. It was beautiful, just the way I remember it from way back. And also, which was my song, I almost forgot, by Hikwa Lang, the song I used to hear all the time in Whale Cove before we moved in '69. She recorded also that one. And also songs I never heard before, which was my grandfather and also my mother. Maybe I did, but I don't remember her song. And she recorded these four altogether. So traditionally, how they were passed on. Now I am a grandfather with 6 grandchildren, And one of them is named after my late mother. She is the owner of my mother's song. And two boys named after my father, Ulayuk and Miki. They are the owners of the song, Opihir. And there's my song. One of my granddaughters is named Hikwa. She is also co-owner of the song. We both share. And when I'm gone, she will be the sole owner, just like grandkids. So I copied the song in CDs, and they all have a copy in their treasure chests for keepsake. So in that way, I don't know how to thank Mary Anthropologie.
They can practice it.
I will, especially with my song. I listened to it many times already. I think I'm in process writing it, and I'm sure I can learn it. If I can learn Elvis' song, I'm sure I can learn it. Many times they ask me, how do they compose beat for songs? Although I'm not a specialist in song making, just by listening to my father's song or Hikwahalak's song, I know in their younger youth they make hundreds and hundreds of hunting trips to journeys. And one of them, at one of their journeys, become a song. Just looking at and hearing my father's song, it's like him telling me story today. If I hear it, it's like him this far telling me the story through song. How he went out that morning, what he wanted to see that morning, what he will have to do to get or find someone he wants. That is usually a hunting trip of some sort, mostly caribou hunting and fishing. My father described his day through his song, how he started in the morning, how far he went, what he was seeing on the horizon, on those little hills. He see a rock, walking towards it, and he have another look, and there's something beside that hill, and it's not a rock. I know he means caribou. And after a day of wandering around, getting tired, even his little gun, which is probably 22 single shot, become very heavy, and how he described getting his caribou so he can go back to feed us. A story, simple, but it's almost written by a professional. Well, the repeat part, and of course it's unique, and it's hard to describe word by word because it shouldn't be described like that. You really have to understand the whole process to understand, but word by word it will become meaningless, etc. So that's why my age group, like myself, would make a song. We don't know enough the unwritten rules, what should be added and how it should start for men. We don't know that. How women should start and repeat words. We don't know that, but they do. And the ownership and the song itself is so powerful. After I moved to Inuit and my mother got really sick and I had to go to Ottawa, I was told, come right down. She was very sick. End of the day, I ended up saying, you're going to Winnipeg now. She was medevac down to Winnipeg with all kinds of tubes. She couldn't talk, but she can recognize me. A day or two later, her doctor said, she will not improve. This is how she will look like. Your family has to decide to be like that or turn the machine off. After talking with my brother and Uncle Casimir, they all say, Mother won't be like that. She's not she don't want to live like that. So decision was turn it off, and she passed away peacefully. After I accompanied the body to Ahiarmiut for a funeral, Nutaraluk and Ayak and a few others who were her Langlong, Bukanak and a few others were friends for life kind of thing. They were at the church and I was there too. And one of them whispered to me to be drum dance at our house. And I almost said, no, I don't want to drum dance. It was still in the church. It was just about to bury my mother. Knowing how Ahiarmiut do, knowing how they remember, said, okay, I will be there. The night came, my brother Silas and I were there. My Uncle Casimir, we eat drum dance, eat caribou, and it was time, I was still reluctant. And I was last to drum dance. And I know I probably will drum dance to 2 songs. And I start drum dancing. My guess was right. There were 2 songs. And I wasn't tired. I wasn't tired of drumming. In the course of 2 songs, I almost changed to this mourning about my mother. Then I become, I don't know how to describe it. Before the end of the 2nd song, I feel like I swallowed a medicine or something. Just that feeling. Oh, they know, and I don't. I was glad I went. I was glad I drummed down to 2 songs. I feel very good after that. I feel very good.
Powerful.
Yes. So that's how strong the evening was. So they taught me something I never imagined. So my late mother always used to say privately to me, you always have to share your catch. Doesn't matter if it's big caribou or small caribou or ptarmigan or whatnot, always there. And I try to do that all my life, even today. And when she told me one time, she said, it will bring your better luck. It will give you a better trip next time. It will also help other animals by giving them little leftovers from your cats, from your skinning. I always leave a little bit, bones, whatnot, or unwanted meat. And when you arrive, always look for others who might use it. There may be more people hungrier than you, kind of thing. So I did that all my life. And it was one of these summers in Whale Cove where government used to send us to the land for summer months. So I think Ahiarmiut are most happy when they are out in the land. So each summer we would spend a good part of summer at Wilson River, north of Whale Cove. And July comes, that giant herd from Baker Lake area, Ahiarmiut herd, would come by through Rankin, Whale Cove, up and down to Manitoba border area. They seemed like in millions. And it was my first time hunting with my mother. We were in a giant herd with a single shot. I wait for my instruction to shoot. You can shoot now. I don't know if I missed, or I think I missed the first shot. Second shot, I hit something. I was so excited. I don't know why I was running, but the caribou looked like it has a big tail. There's something behind moving while the caribou is running. It's like a big tail. All of a sudden, I shouted at my mother, "Ahiarmiut, there's a big wolf." That caribou, I thought the leg where I shot it was moving around like that, and I thought it was a big wolf. We start to run away right away. She believed me, there's a big wolf. Turn around and run back. And we turned back, it was the caribou I just shot. We tried to run behind it. We lost it. Then, not too long later, another herd across Wilson River. I was with her again. This time, not so many, but there's a big bull. And okay, you can shoot now. And I shot it, and it was a big bull. I don't know how many shots, maybe 2 or 3, until I killed it. And she skinned it. I watched, and that was the introductory of to manhood, I thought. Another one was with my father. Although I spend more time with my mother on these things. But I was watching my father with my binoculars at Wilson River. And he has one spot where he goes every single day to look for that big caribou. Usually nothing. But one day he had a movement. Then I know right away he saw something. I grabbed my single .22 and ran towards him like there's no tomorrow. And sure enough, he was looking this direction, and I could see two big antlers started to come our way. It was big, big bull. He was just sort of ready to shoot. I'm not sure if he knew I was behind him. With my single shot aim, ready to trigger. He was waiting for a closer look. He was just about to aim and shoot. I stand up quick behind him, single shot, bang, and hit the huge scab behind spine, and went down. There's one word I always remember him saying, just looking up at me. My! Almost like, holy! And it was a happy father that day. My sister came running to us from the tent. It was this much fat in it. It was a happy day for the whole family. This is something I will never forget. And his expression, he don't say much, but I remember what he said that day.